6, 8, 9. Okay. Okay. So it it charged up for about 3 minutes, and then the machine kicked off because it can't handle two cars. So I told that dude, I said it kicked the machine off. He said, "Oh yeah." So let's get on down the road, Bubba. Let's see if I told the people I'd be back in a half hour. It's only 5 minutes. It was only 5 minutes, but we're back now, and I'm just pulling myself up here. I don't see why he doesn't roll the window up to talk. He's talking on the phone. You know that how you play your phone through your radio, and it's not that hot. It's just kind of weird, unless he's smoking. But I don't smell any cigarettes. All right. So let me just. Well, I should go in the other way. Let me go in the other way. I'm just gonna see if I'm searchable. So I'll go find somebody's live stream. Salsalito. What's his name? Meto Leo just made a video in Sausalito. Haven't checked it out yet, but that's a strange little place there. Okay, so let me see. I just gotta find a live stream. I just gotta find a live stream right here, real quick, and that we'll get talking. I don't see anybody coming in the room yet, and we can't find any live streams. Okay. Yeah, we can't find any live streams that way. Okay, well, typical. All right, so I will just go into my channel this way. Let me get out of here. It's this guy's yelling. Okay. So there's my channel. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to make the video here anyway. Let me get out of here. Okay, so the signal's good. So let's get on down the road here. Wait for some people to get in here. Let's wait for some people to get in the room here. Okay. Yeah. So I hope they fix that thing. Um, they said they were going to do some stuff, but I haven't seen nothing. And like I told you, it is remote control. So I have my suspicions about it. Yeah. They say it needs a new router. $700 for the router, and $300 for something else. I forget what the hell it was, and $1,800 for labor. 6 hours labor. It's $300 an hour. So let's just cruise on over to another spot where there's plenty of light. And I guess I could go all the way around and come back up to that light right there. That's usually a good spot, because there ain't nothing over here except if I go to the dollar store. It's very bright in there, but sometimes people will come around and lay their money down. So we'll just cruise on up here and do this. We're driving through Avenel, California. We're on Skyline Boulevard, going right by the fire department. There's the fire department. They're got their doors open, doing something. And we're gonna come up here to the dollar store, and there's actually no people. Now's a good time to go in there and get some. Yeah, so we got some bikers right there with no lights. All these kids riding around on bikes. Well, those two guys. But I don't think that girl's bike had the light on it. And that one has a light in front, but the other one does not have a light in front, which is real bad. They should have a light blinking. I mean, what does it take to put a little blinking LED on there? It doesn't take up anything off the battery. You can run it with a button cell battery. Okay, so there's a few people here, and so I will just park right here until this guy gets out. Yeah, see this girl right here? No light. No light on that bike at all. No front light. It's not a bike, it's a scooter. No front light. I'm surprised she's wearing another one right there. No lights on those things. I'm surprised this one right here is wearing a white shirt. How old do you think she is? 11? 12? See? No lights on those scooters. And they cross the street. And there's another one right here. They cross the street. Remember the other day? Three little kids ran out in front of my car. Two little 8-year-old boys, and one they looked about 8 years old, and there was like one little girl. She was like 4 years old, 4 or 5 years old, and they were wearing dark clothes. That's why I said I'm surprised this girl right here is wearing a white shirt, because usually they're all dressed like gothic. And so, yeah. So we're right here, right in front, and can you see these girls riding around? You know, they should have at least have reflective things on, or glow in the dark wristbands, something where the people can see them. And this thing keeps turning down low because, hello, people in the comments, what are you saying? Yeah, I had to get out of there. Told you what's going on around here, right? So, yeah, I had to get out of there. And the damn thing wasn't charging anyway, so I'm glad it stopped charging so I can get out of there. That dude was yelling and acting goofy. So we got some more audience out here, and so such is life, my friend. Going to bed the sun just barely went down. Where are you at? In United Kingdom or something? Okay. Well, anyway, so I see there's people in here, so that's good. So I don't got my usual spot here, and there's people watching, so I'm just waiting for somebody to pull out so I can go and pull into the next stall. Okay. So that's what's going on. I'm just waiting for it to clear out. This guy just pulled up and he's just sitting in his car. And so and then there's a car parked way over there on the side. I don't know what for, but I'm gonna go park over there because this is goofy. But yeah, this phone is so heavy. This phone is so heavy that it pulls that damn thing down. And you know why? Why does it do that? Why did they make it like this? I'm going to tighten the crap out of it so it won't be... Oh, you know why? Because it's got so much leverage on it. That's why. Why did they make it like this? Why in the hell would they do that? Okay, that's loosening it. You got to tighten the crap out of it. Okay. So it's way up high. So I'm going to move out of this spot because this guy is weird. And so I'm gonna have to roll down the window. So we got 1, 2, 3 cars, and nobody got out of the cars. They're just sitting there. It's so weird. Okay, so I'm gonna park right over here. There's a car sitting here, and it says Sage. It looks like it doesn't even run. I don't think this thing even freaking runs. But I'm gonna park over here where I can get a little bit of privacy. Okay. Look at this damn thing. I gotta tighten the other one. Man, if I had that new Subaru, it would park the car for me. It has that auto parking. It has auto parking. So I'm right next to the trash can now. Right next to the trash can, but that's okay. Ain't no thing. Okay, so that's good. And let me tighten that thing up. I can turn the car off now. Which one's going? Oh, this one? Okay. What did I do with this thing? Okay, let me tighten this one up. I'm gonna tighten the crap out of it. There. It's tweaked now. Look at that. What the hell? Oh, now the other part is still moving. It's got like 3 different parts that you have to tighten. And this part will break because it's made out of plastic. Okay. So we're ready. It just doesn't move. So okay, am I bright enough? Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. Sorry. It's just aggravating when people don't have nothing to do. I mean, they completely do not have nothing to do. And so, first of all, what was I talking about? I was talking about the vinegar. Okay. I was talking about the vinegar. That thing doesn't have to be on. Okay. So, I was talking about the vinegar gummies. Boy, those little electric bikes, they got some torque. A little kid's driving one right now. Boom. But they ain't got no lights. They just crossed the street with no lights on it. What's wrong with these people? And it has a light now. I guess on the brake light or something. I can see it from down here. He just took off down the alley. But okay, so this one's charging. Let me see how much juice I got. Okay, 83. That's good. So let me plug this one in, because this one takes the most juice. Okay, so I got two people still in here. Okay, let me just cut to the chase. Okay, there's these guys making YouTube videos. This is information for all you people to check it out. I just want to share this because this is what I was watching right now. And you decide if the person is real. Okay? This person is apparently he's in Los Angeles, and he's living in his car. And I told him today, I wrote on the comments, I said, you need help, period. You're not well, period. You need to go get SSI disability, period. And so there was people in the comments saying you're faking. He started going like, oh, I'm sick. He says, I don't feel good. And I'm like, well, if you don't feel good, then what the F are you making a live stream for? Right? And so if it is a real person, if this is not Hollywood, there's something not right. Okay? You would have to go get, I know it's the situation is bleak, but you have to try. You can't live like that. You can't be living in a car like that. And you can go get a job washing dishes, and you might meet a chick where you can move in with a chick or something, unless there's something going on, with sexuality. But if not, there's all kinds of chicks out there looking for dudes, dude. Go to the bar, meet a chick, go get a job dishwashing. If not, if you can't do that, you need to go down and get some SSI disability. And this guy, he started throwing up in the car and kept filming it. And I'm like, I'm like, this guy needs help. He's going nuts in that car. So, the name of the channel, I'm not going to tell you the name of the channel. You go around searching, you can find someone who's living in this car in Los Angeles. And so there's this one, okay? There's another homeless person living, and they're all about the same age. These guys are like 25, 27, 29. And there's another person living in LA, but he's got it. He's not as whacked out as that. When this person started saying, I'm sick, I'm not lying, he's like getting mad at the audience because the audience won't send him some money. And that's going off the deep end. And so the person down in San Diego, I don't know if you've seen him, he's living homeless, But this person, he'll take off, because people send him donations, I guess, or something, and he will take off to the East Coast, and he's got a girlfriend over there, or a wife or girlfriend, something, and so he'll kick back there for a while. But this guy doesn't got nothing. He just staying in that car all day long, and he's put up, those. He blocked all the windows, and he's in there all day long. And so this other person, he's like he's like 100% better mentally and physically than this other guy. Then there's another person who actually from time to time will hook up with the chick, but he's living out in his car. But he doesn't look like he's stressing out that bad. Then then and I guess people send him money. So that's this other guy's trying to, for other people to send him money like the other ones. I guess that's what's going on. And so there's another person, and this person I suspect is kind of like an eccentric millionaire kind of. It you kind of get that kind of sense that he comes from a family who had money, maybe or maybe not. But anyhow, he's living in a van, and he takes off and he walks. He's living on the beach in his van, and he takes off and he films all day long outside. And he's the kind of person that blends in with the crowd, right? So he's always doing all kinds of stuff around all kinds of different kinds of people, and feels completely, totally comfortable. And so he can go into certain establishments, and he just blends in. And so you look at this person who's living in a van, and you look at the other person who's living in a car. It's like the difference of day and night. This person living in a van has it good. He's not stressed. He's not sitting here throwing up all over his car. And this guy can't figure it out to get yourself a damn van and go to the beach. Live at the beach instead of staying in a freaking car where you can't even. The guy in a van, he has a bed in there. And he's not stressed at all. He's got the van door open right there next to the beach. And this guy's over here sweating and stuff. What are you going to be like next month? So I guess some people just can't figure it out. They can't reason in their head. You look at him. Look at the guy that's living out on the beach. It's just like difference of night and day. This guy is not stressed at all. And you look at this other guy sitting here throwing up in his car with the live stream still running, and then shows it to you. That's freaking sick. And he is probably thinking in his mind that it's funny, right? That he's fooling the people to get people to send him money. That is not funny. You're not fooling nobody. That is freaking disgusting. And this person needs help. He's lost. And so that's the thing of H&S, right? And so I just thought I'd bring that to your awareness. This person needs help, mental help. And I mean, it's okay to have ambitions to do certain things, but this is not working. You could be washing dishes. It's good for you to work. I know being homeless is like, you can't do it. I understand that. But you have to try something. You have to try something. You can't just sit there in your car like that. Um, you have to ask for help or go to the homeless shelter. It's just a mess. And at that age, how does this other person have a van, right? They're not working. They're trying to make money off YouTube. It's a hopeless situation, to tell you the truth. I don't see any way out of that. But so um okay, so this person who's living in his van, um I wrote a comment on there, and and I said, you sound like um nasty, you know, the First Amendment auditor in Santa Maria, because he does. He has the same demeanor, the same. You would think you're listening to him, and so he responds, and he was in the front seat of his van. He's right by the ocean, so it's really cool because he shows us beaches that you never even knew existed. Right, you're sitting here in your room, right, dilapidated housing, and you're, all, you don't realize it's like the experiment with the fleas. The fleas learned helplessness. They learned not to jump out of the jar. This is learned helplessness. So this is good that these channels are out there. And this other person who's making these videos, it's for a reason. But that is disgusting. It is disgusting. He freaking threw up, and then he freaking showed you. That is freaking disgusting. And and so um so I made that comment on this other person. Okay, he's not sitting here throwing up in his own. He's laughing. He's having a good time. He's listening to music. He's playing his instrument. Talk to the people who walk by. There's fresh air coming through there, and he's got his bed in his van and listening to the radio or music. And so he says these First Amendment auditors, he says, they're basically, he said, they're full of shit, right? They go out and they test people and all this stuff. And well, I couldn't really respond to him. You can't respond, on these comments. And somebody else jumped in the comments, and he said he said something about the First Amendment auditors, where the guy was talking about something completely different. But anyway, so we have this private conversation going on in the comments, and the guy in the comments says such and such about the First Amendment auditors. And so I commented, I forget what his name was, but I wrote his handle there, and I said, which First Amendment auditors is your favorite? And he comes back and he says, um, well, he says, delete laws and Long Island audits is good. And I came back and I said, you can miss me with those because they are freaking Hollywood undercover. And so Uh, so, um, let me see how to put this together. That's why he potential bliss. I can't remember what I was trying to say. Oh yeah, and because of this, it's a whole long story. I can't run the whole story down to you, okay? But these people who are acting like they're First Amendment auditors are Hollywood undercover, okay? And they're not just regular people. They're actors. They're Hollywood. They're trying to cash in on YouTube because the First Amendment auditor, Camera Boy, Casey Camera Boy, also goes by Kern County Transparency, was an auditor right here from the next town over. He was from Shafter, California, basically Bakersfield. And now he's living in LA. I don't know what the hell he's doing. I think he's a lawyer now. But at the time, he was a younger dude, and he was doing these First Amendment audits every day. This was a real person, okay? And um, and he made $750,000 in 1 year, and he wasn't telling nobody about it. So I found out about it because I went searching, okay? But this is a real auditor, and they put them all out. All the ones that were good, they put it out, just like they put the civil rights movement out back in the '60s, okay? And so these two channels that this one person commented in the comment, I told him, I said, basically, they're suspect. These are agent provocateurs. Hence, that's why this person who was making the video thinks they're stupid. That's what they're designed, that's what they're put there to do, to make you think they're stupid, that they're assholes. This is what agent provocateur means. They provoke people to fight. They go in and they disrupt the movement. They cause chaos within the people. They take focus off of the movement. Okay? These are called agent provocateurs, also known as informants, snitches. Okay? These are fake channels. And that's why this person says they're stupid, because you're watching fake First Amendment auditors. Okay? So that's why I just wanted to clear that up, because he doesn't like First Amendment auditors. The First Amendment auditors before were completely different. They completely put it out. Okay? If you like watching Candy Camera, then you can watch the First Amendment auditors. All the important stuff, they make them take it out if they want to make money on the videos. Okay, so moving on to some stuff. Okay, I was talking about the homeless people last night, right? And I told you that these homeless people don't even know that they were given money by the federal government to the politicians, for the politicians to hand it out to them, to help them because they're homeless. They were supposed to have received $550,000 each, okay? Because there's only 1,450 homeless people in Fresno, and the federal government gave California a grip of money. Fresno alone, the federal government gave Fresno, this was like 2 or 3 years ago, for the homeless people, they gave them almost $1 billion. That is $750 million. Every homeless person in Fresno could have had a house. They could have bought a house and still had $300,000 left over. Each one of them could have had $300,000 and a house with that much money. Okay? Now it's gone. It's gone and they don't got nothing to show for it. So who got the money? Right? So now you've got $10 million on the way. So these same thieves who stole all that almost $1 billion of dollars, they're like wolves right now with their tongues hanging out, salivating. They're partying big time right now. They know the money is on the way. The federal government already told them we're sending another $10 million to help the homeless people right now as we speak. And so, what do you think all these people are thinking now that they heard that? Because nobody said it except for me. You have thieves, men, flocking to these positions, city council members, all different kinds of positions, elected positions, the people who receive this money, who are supposed to disperse it, who are taking the money and stealing it amongst themselves. They're a pack of wolves. They're freaking criminals. They're kleptomaniacs. All the thieves are flocking to it now because they're like, what? $1 billion? They're all the freaking thieves are flocking to it. They're even sex offenders, even though I think sex offender, the whole label's a bunch of crap. Even sex offenders are trying to flock to these positions, these political positions in government, so that they can get in there and start stealing some of that money too. Because it's a free for all, what's going on. They're all doing drugs. They're like this with the drug dealers on the streets. They all communicate. Do research on Fresno, on the all the government positions, all of them. It's all corrupt. And so yeah, they're being all the thieves are being drawn to that those positions like a magnet. Now that the word is getting out, because the word is getting out on the street, the homeless people, and they're right in there with it, because the second largest industry in the United States also runs 50% of the illegal stuff that's going on the streets: sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Okay, in case you didn't know that. When Mexican Padilla made that video, before they put him out, when he started making these, he was a First Amendment auditor in San Antonio, Texas. I was telling the audience here when I was making my live streams, I said, they're going to absolutely put this dude out. And they did, that through whatever methods. If they have to buy him out or whatever they have to do, they will put him out. He went over there and he showed you the DEA in San Antonio. Okay? These dudes looked like they were freaking high as a kite. Like they had been on freaking meth for freaking 2 weeks straight. And he was filming them. And he filmed them for like 45 minutes. And they just, it was total meltdown. You could see it. You could see where they were coming from. So they got rid of it. They either bought him out or, well, first they threw him in jail. And they either bought him out or whatever. Some of them have sued the cities, and they're sitting pretty now. They got nice houses and stuff. But The bottom line is they've all been obliterated. Their videos have been rendered useless unless you like watching Candy Camera. But yeah, he showed the DEA. This is the Drug Enforcement Agency. They're all whacked out. And so they're the ones bringing the stuff into the community. It's documented proof. If you'd go sit down at the library and read some books, you'll find out that it's absolutely documented fact who's bringing in the drugs. You have to bring that stuff in by train loads. So much of it is coming into the country. Okay? And the ones that you see, oh, we busted $100 million of cocaine. Those are staged just to make you think that the DEA is actually fighting it when they're the ones bringing the stuff in. Okay, that's not just my opinion. I read this in books in the library. And so moving on to the next subject. Okay. Right now, a big thing is milk. How many people love milk? Raise your hand. How many people love milk? Okay. About 25 years ago, Kevin Trudeau wrote his book where he was. Let me turn this on. No, that's already on. This car's so weird. Kevin Trudeau wrote a book telling all these different things. And now, because of his book, people are starting to find out. Now, mainstream media is just gone crazy. Everybody's talking about these things. And so just wait a second. Somebody's playing a loud music there. Get the hell out of here. Okay. So Kevin Trudeau started telling you all these things. And now everybody's finding out about these things because of his book that it was a multi-million seller, New York Times best selling book. And gets hot in here. What the F, dude? Did I just lock this thing? Damn. Okay. So Kevin Trudeau was telling everybody about these things, okay? And to come up to speed, you need to listen to the audio disc or read the book of Kevin Trudeau. And it's also available in Spanish, which I'm trying to work on getting this information out to the Spanish-speaking community. And it's unraveling. It's close. It's very, very close with AI. It's just almost there. But anyhow, so he told the people about milk, and this was a major issue. This was 25 years ago, and we're like, well, what are you gonna do, right? You need milk for your vitamin D, for the calcium, and besides that, it's got a calming effect. And I talked about all of this. And so the people who were paying attention, there was the Amish people, right? And the Amish people, they had a farm up in Pennsylvania where they had good milk, not like the milk here that has a lot of bad, bad stuff. That's why people with money are looking for the good milk. And um, you could get it up in Montana and in Pennsylvania. That was it. It was illegal to have um, the good milk in all the other states 25 years ago, up until like 2 years ago. If you tried selling the good milk here in California, they would put you in prison. Okay? And now, with all the information coming out on the internet, it's here. Overnight, I find out that they have good milk here in California. I'm like, what? So I started telling people about it. Then, like last week, I found out they have good milk right here in Fresno County. And I don't have any because this car won't make it to Fresno. It's got limited range. It'll only make it to Hanford. And they don't have it in Hanford. They have some kind, which I'm going to tell you about here in Hanford. But so now it's available. So how many people like milk? Okay, if you live in a big town, there's a store. It's kind of strange because you know how people are used to a farmer's market, right? Well, it's kind of confusing to the people, and probably it's probably designed like that because they wanted to go under the radar, and it worked. And they're now in 25 states here in the United States with good food. It's like Whole Foods 3.0. Okay? And and the name of the store is called Sprouts. It's Sprouts Farmers Market. That's a little bit confusing because people are going to think it's a farmer's market. It's not a farmer's market. It's a store. It's just called Sprouts Farmers Market, but it's not a farmer's market. It's a grocery store. Okay? So they have milk, if you like milk, right here in Fresno. This is top of the line. You see what it says? Oh, I've got this on. Sorry, it's written backwards, but I can't turn this damn phone around. It messes everything up. Okay, you can read it there, right? It is raw milk. Okay? And it's available in Fresno at this store that I just told you. I thought I showed it to you. This is the store. It's not a farmer's market. It's a grocery store. It's called Sprouts Farmers Market. Okay? But it's not a farmer's market. It's a grocery store. And they're mostly in California, Arizona, Texas, and Florida. And you can get this milk, which is top of the line. It's raw milk. Okay? And so it's expensive. Okay, if you're poor, at least buy a half gallon of it so that eventually Walmart will pick it up, and then it'll be affordable where all the poor people can be able to buy this milk, because it's already happened with eggs. When pasture raised eggs first hit the shelves, they were $12. When Walmart picked the product up, now you can get farm raised eggs, top of the line eggs, for $4 a dozen. Okay? This is the same thing that can happen with this product, raw milk. When sales go up, Walmart picks the product up, the price should do just like the pasture raised eggs did. Okay? But for right now, it's expensive. So at least, if you're poor, at least buy a half gallon or buy some of the ice cream. They got ice cream that's made with this milk. I think I think the ice cream is made with organic milk. It gets a little confusing because there's organic milk and there's raw milk. Raw milk is top of the line. And I don't think I'm going to have enough time to go into discuss the whole thing, but basically you can get organic milk is good because it doesn't have the antibiotics and all the crap that they put in the cow, which is um, BGH. BGH. These things are um, banned in other countries. Okay, the BGH and all the antibiotics, which end up. Okay, I can't talk about this. I can't talk about this stuff. Okay, so anyhow, raw milk is top of the line. Okay, and I'll just leave it at that. And you can get it at the store. Okay, and how about cheese? How many people like cheese? Cheddar cheese in your beans, right? Um, cheeseburger, and right? How many people like cheese? Well, I've been buying a lot of cheese, and it came to my attention. You would think that all these people talking about, which ones are good, which ones are bad, you'd think that they would have told you about it. All the people who say they're, you know, doctor this or doctor that, and all the other people who are telling you which products are good and which one. But nobody said a word about cheese. And I've been buying the cheese thinking everything was good, right? And so it came to my attention that the cheese was being made with a certain substance in it. And I went over and I just got done buying some string cheese, some uh, mild cheddar cheese, and some sharp cheddar cheese. And so I got this information. So I went over and I looked in the refrigerator and I read the ingredients, which are hidden. You have to open them up like this. And you read all the ingredients. I'm like, yeah, it looks like it's good stuff. That's why it went under the radar. It turns out that one of the things that is in it is not as it appears. It says that it's just enzymes, but they don't tell you that these enzymes were created in a laboratory. Not only that, they were created in the laboratories of big pharma. So I'm like, I'm never buying that freaking cheese again. And so they have raw cheese, raw cheddar cheese. Notice the color of it? That's what real cheese looks like. The cheese you get in the store, the reason why it's that color is because they're putting food color in it. But this is real raw cheese. Okay? And it's made right here in Fresno. And it's made with raw milk. So, it's expensive. Okay? But if we all start buying it and Walmart picks it up, which they are not carrying it right now, the price will come down just like the eggs. Okay? And so this is raw cheddar cheese. And the only place you're going to find it, you go online and look for it. Do a web search, raw cheese. The only place you're going to find it is at this store. So consider yourself fortunate because they actually have the store from this farm. This farm is in Fresno, believe it or not. The one carrying top of the line, you remember I was telling you the one that was down in Santa Rosa, Petaluma, okay? This one is better, okay? Because the one in Petaluma, which is Strauss family creamery, as far as I know, they don't have raw milk. They have organic. Okay, organic is better, but it's not top of the line. Top of the line is raw. Okay, and so go look for that. You can find organic milk, and that's good. Then there's different kinds of organic milk. And the organic milk that's sitting at Walmart, sure, it's a little bit better because it doesn't have the um, BGH, which is banned in other countries, so that's good. And it doesn't have the all the synthetic steroids or whatever. And supposedly the feed that they feed them does not have pesticides on it. Okay, and well, so that's a little bit better, but I want the real thing, right? Raw milk, and because it's better by leaps and bounds. Now, what's going around right now with the raw milk, that is a step up. But what's going on with the raw milk is that a lot of people are saying this is only grass fed, right? Like that's something to brag about. And well, that's good, but I think that the cows actually enjoy eating stuff like silage, but they should clean up the silage to where they're not spraying it with freaking basically Agent Orange, which has been banned in a lot of other countries. But a lot of that stuff is, I think the cow really likes likes it, like the oats, and I think they mix it. It smells really good. I used to work on dairy, and they mix in molasses with it, so the cow really likes that stuff. Fruity type stuff, and some farmers, I guess, they feed their cows um, melons. You can see them out here eating melons. So I think they need to you know uh, use your brain. It doesn't have to be just straight grass. I think they enjoy eating the different stuff. Farmers who feed their cows molasses and whatever that grain is that is in the silos, it actually smells good. So this needs to be, you know, acknowledged in the community. It's not just straight grass. So anyway, that'll be good when they get that all figured out. And but this is good news. I mean, this is like unbelievable that it's right here in Fresno County. That's crazy. And so I was wanting a cheeseburger. Okay, I've been craving a cheeseburger. I bought myself some spring rolls, and that's pretty good because you crave the deep fried stuff. But I've been really craving a cheeseburger, and I haven't had one in a long time. And I don't want to get. I was tempted, almost tempted to get fast food. Which, by the way, I wanted to talk about a restaurant that I would like to um, put out there so somebody can start a certain restaurant. But so I've been wanting a cheeseburger, but I'm like over at Walmart they have some hamburger. It's kind of expensive, and it says it's grass fed. So I was almost thinking about trying it. I don't know how it'll be. But around here you can get the ground beef. I think it's like $5 a pound. So you can make one or two cheeseburgers off that. But when you go by these meat departments where they're having the hamburger, you can smell something that it is just awful. And I think what it is um, it's like chlorpheneramine, chlorph. It's the stuff that they use for washing your hands. It's not soap. It's a chloroform or something. It's an anti bacterial or some kind of stuff, but it's not good. It's used in place of like iodine, and it's a synthetic chemical. And that crap smells horrible. So I discovered today that you can actually get beef. Let me find it here. You can actually get beef right here in Fresno County to make you a cheeseburger. You can get the organic cheese, which is it's crazy. Raw cheese, actually. It's better than organic cheese. It's raw cheese. It's a little bit expensive. It's like 15 bucks right now for 16 ounces. But like I said, the price will come down as soon as people start buying them. Just like the eggs, the price came down, way down, like 3 times cheaper now, as soon as Walmart picks it up. So you can get your beef, okay? You can get beef right there. I imagine it's at Sprouts. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's at Sprouts. It's called farm beef. It's from these cows that are free of all that nasty crap, okay? And so that's great. Now you can have a cheeseburger with good beef that's not a freaking poisonous garbage, okay? And it's available right now. It's called farm beef and corned beef. Corned beef? Is that corned beef? No, ground beef. One is called farm beef and the other one's called ground beef. And it tells you everything about it right there. If you want to go to their website, it's called the farm is called Raw Farm, okay? And they got all kinds of stuff, top of the line. And so, okay, I showed you that. And okay, now there's different kinds of organic milk. And I don't know if I told you this, but they've got organic milk at Walmart. And yeah, it is a little bit better, but it's still nowhere near as good as the top of the line milk. Okay, that's all I'll say. And some of it is actually bad, real bad. I wouldn't drink it. I'm drinking it right now anyway, but it does not have the worst thing, one of the worst things in my opinion, very serious thing. The milk that's in Walmart that says organic, it's not very much different than the other stuff. One of the major issues, if you want to know what the major issue is, go read Kevin Trudeau's book and he'll tell you about it, okay? They know what it is. I'm not saying it, okay? But the organic milk that's in Walmart, some of it is the same thing, okay? And so that's why I'm saying go with the top of the line. Get something that says that on it, raw milk. And okay, so I told you all about this last night. I told you how I was planning on getting this over to the Spanish speaking community. And believe it or not, all of David Icke's books that are written in Spanish, they all got pulled off the market on Amazon. Don't believe me? Go check it out yourself. All of his books that are written in Spanish, which are about 4 of them, they're all pulled off the market. I don't know if David Icke knows about it or not. What the hell's going on? If you go in and you click, options, it'll send you somewhere to somebody who hasn't, but they're like $475 for a book. Nobody's going to buy a book for $475, okay? So they pulled all of his books in Spanish because I think it has something to do with the tortillas, okay? It's the Latin-speaking market, okay? They know what's coming. That's why they pulled all this stuff off. Um, the Hispanic community, the market is so huge that they are shaking in their shoes and trying to sweep it under the rug by pulling this stuff off the market. I don't know if David Icke realized that. I don't know if he went in and checked on Amazon. Okay, so, um, okay, let me figure out where. The organic cheese at Walmart, it's a little bit better, but it doesn't even come close to the real McCoy, the good stuff. Okay, and okay, now I remember what I was gonna say. Okay, so they pulled it off the market. This is the biggest secret by David Icke. Obviously, in Spanish, it's called El Mayor Secreto. Okay, and you know everything that's going on with the Epstein files. I told you this. What's in this book makes what's going on in the Epstein files seem like a walk in the park. Okay, you see the people that he is talking about back in 25 years ago in this book? Do you recognize any people there? Do you recognize that guy down there on the side who's being subpoenaed into the courts now? He was telling you about it. Okay, these people are in this book, he says, are extraterrestrials. Okay, they're all from the same bloodline. They're somehow a reptilian. What they really look like, I showed you the other day. They look like a reptile. They're shapeshifters. Okay? Kevin Trudeau was telling you about 2 or 3 days ago or 4 days ago, maybe last week, I don't know. I didn't pay that much. It's like 3 videos ago. He tells you about the extraterrestrials. How how could you even, who are the dummies on earth who still are wondering if they're here when it's documented proof that they are here? He gives you all the facts. Okay? Once you realize that they are here, then after you read this book by David Icke, you'll realize that they are Lucifer and the fallen angels, because they've been worshiping Satan since the days of ancient Babylon. They've been doing their rituals since the days of ancient Babylon. It's documented fact. They're still doing their rituals. Satanism. Okay? And so just wanted to share that with you. And where's my other note cards? Okay. There are some organic cheeses out there. Not organic. Raw cheese. Raw cheese or organic cheese. Here's all the brands. Okay? There's a grip of different brands, but you won't find them in Walmart. You got to search around. A lot of this stuff is at Safeway, but we don't have no Safeways around here. Okay? But a lot of the organic stuff is showing up at Safeway for whatever reason. Okay? And now, I don't know if you've watched it or not, if you've been following me, and all this stuff is backwards, so it's useless to even show you that stuff. Okay, there's my Facebook page. And that's all I've got for right now, except for one more thing. Okay, with all this stuff that's going on, everybody's finding out about this things. Obviously, this store, I didn't even know it existed. Obviously, there's a lot of people who already know about this stuff and have been consumers of these good products for a minute. And so, I said there should be a business for the entrepreneurs, even though you're going to get you're going to run into so much opposition. If you start one of these businesses, I suggested the business of having a place basically like a Starbucks, but that sells organic drinks like Orange Julius. I don't know if you know what one of those is. Orange Julius, made with organic oranges. grapefruit juice made with organic grapefruit, squeezed right there on the spot. Coconut water, organic coconut water. They have already got all the things down in LA, in the LA market. They have tons and tons of fresh coconuts. And um, fresh squeezed organic carrot juice, fresh squeezed organic beet juice, and then all the other juices, fresh squeezed pomegranate juice. And this place would give Starbucks a run for their money, but you would get so much opposition because the second largest industry, or the third, second or third, whichever one it is, that rakes in cash off you being not well, their stocks are going to dump if this business materializes. Okay? Okay, so I've got another idea of a business. Because these products are here now, it's unbelievable that these products are here. Another business would be organic Burger King, using this beef that I just showed you and the cheese that I just showed you, and using organic lettuce and organic tomatoes and organic onions. Organic Burger King, selling organic cheeseburgers and French fries. How much business do you think that will get? This stuff is on fire right now. And but it's not on fire in the Hispanic community. It hasn't caught on, but it has caught on in the English-speaking community. I know this because I've done a little research on tortillas and bread, and so yeah. So so that's all I've got. There was one more thing, but it just escaped me right now. But I'll probably comment on it in the morning. And so, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for leaving comments. Let me see who else is in here. For some reason, there's no more comments. That's kind of strange, but it is what it is. Talk to you later.